Let's talk about the dining at Sandals Saint Vincent.
We just got back from the newest Sandals resort, Sandals Saint Vincent and the Grenadines, and there's a lot of new dining concepts here. So in this video, we want to go through everything about the restaurants, from the dress code to the cuisine to when it's open. So let's get into it.
There are 11 restaurants at Sandals Saint Vincent, and usually there's 1 or 2 restaurants at every resort that require a resort evening dress code, which basically means that men should be wearing long pants versus shorts, and wear closed-toed shoes like sneakers or dress shoes, boat shoes, that sort of thing, instead of flip-flops. At this resort currently, none of the restaurants require the resort evening dress code. The website said that Butch's Island Chop House, which is the steakhouse, required the evening dress code, but when we got to the resort and looked on the app, it said resort casual. So at the moment, don't need them, but I would still recommend packing a pair of long pants and a pair of nicer shoes, just in case anything were to change in the future.
And when we say at this moment, we're recording this in December 2024, but to Jenna's point, that could change in the future. First up is Sora. Sora is the buffet and the Italian restaurant at Sandals Saint Vincent. This restaurant is open for breakfast and lunch as a buffet, and it's the Italian restaurant for dinner. This overall restaurant concept is not new for Sandals. The name is new, but having a breakfast buffet and lunch buffet, that's pretty standard across a lot of the Sandals resorts, and then at night that turns into the Italian restaurant, so pretty typical there.
At the breakfast buffet, you'll have all of the standard offerings. There's a place you can order omelets or eggs. They have different stations of pre-made things. They have pastries, fruits, yogurts, oatmeal, all of that. They had the machine for fresh squeezed orange juice, which I always love. Now, we never actually went to the buffet for lunch while we were there, so can't speak to that specifically, but it's probably pretty similar to other lunch buffets at Sandals. Every single day has its own theme, so they do like a Mexican day, a Caribbean day, that sort of thing. So always good to look at what the day is before you head there to make sure you like the type of cuisine.
And for dinner at the Italian restaurant, it's pretty standard Sandals Italian, not the best Italian, not the worst Italian we've had at a Sandals, but Jenna had cacio e pepe, I had the chicken parm, we started with some caprese. All your pretty typical Italian dishes. I would say this restaurant was the most average Sandals food, nothing stellar, nothing bad, but you know, if you're going for one of those meals, I think you'll have a pretty solid dining experience there.
Next up, we have Scrimshaw, which is a brand new restaurant concept for Sandals, and this is a seafood restaurant. It's open for dinner only, and we ate here on our first night, and we were the people who ordered steak at a seafood restaurant. I think it goes to show the steak was actually really good, so if a seafood place can do good steak, then yeah, I'm sure the quality of the seafood is better.
I actually think it shares a kitchen with Butch's, which
that
might be
yeah,
why, but.
I had a tuna appetizer that was really good, super fresh, very nice plating. I loved the decor in the restaurant. Yeah. It was really pretty and new, so we really enjoyed this meal.
Next up is Butch's Island Chop House. This restaurant is open for dinner and reservations are required. Many of the Sandals resorts have a Butch's Steakhouse named after Sandals founder, Gordon Butch Stewart, and this was a really great meal. We've never really had a bad Butch's experience at Sandals, and this is your steakhouse. So some great cuts of meat there, great appetizers, great cocktails, great desserts. The vibe of this restaurant is very similar to the Butch's at Sandals Royal Curacao in terms of its design and aesthetic, which we really like, and the service was great, the food was great. We both had the filet mignon.
Yep.
We shared some appetizers, some fries, mashed potatoes, asparagus, and we had a really great server here as well, which was nice.
Up next, we have Parisol Beach Club, which is another new restaurant concept for Sandals. So this is a beach bar slash restaurant right next to the 2 infinity pools that are beachfront at the resort. You have beautiful views from this restaurant. Yeah. It's open for breakfast and lunch. It's actually a sit-down restaurant, and they offer small bites and snacks that you can get throughout the day as well. Our biggest piece of feedback was that the menus were a little bit limited here and were a little bit of a fancier cuisine than we're accustomed to or that we would prefer for a resort lunch. And I think the same thing goes for breakfast as well. For example, they didn't list anything like scrambled eggs or a build your own omelet. They had one omelet on the menu, which was a mushroom goat cheese omelet. I had it and it was delicious. And I would certainly get it again, but it wasn't customizable. Not every, you know, goat cheese is a very like pungent cheese. A lot of people don't like mushrooms. He asked if he could order scrambled eggs and they made that happen, but it wasn't listed on the menu. So if you didn't think to ask for some things, you may have missed out. We did love the coconut pancakes at breakfast. The fruit was really fresh. And I'll say everything we ate there a couple of times throughout the week for breakfast or lunch. Everything was really delicious. We just wish there were more options.
And we talked about this in our full review of Sandals Saint Vincent, which is out on the channel now. We'll link that below. But basically that summarizes our feedback about the dining at the resort, is that everything we had was delicious. There just wasn't enough variety. I think for Jenna and I in particular, when we go to a Sandals, we really enjoy a Neptune's or the restaurant where you could go to on the beach in the sand and they have sandwiches and burgers and more just kind of American comfort food, I'll call it.
Yeah, like we like the fancier dinners.
Yes.
But we don't need a fancy breakfast and a fancy lunch and a fancy dinner every day.
Yeah, and for example, they have a burger listed on the menu, they just didn't have that available when we were there. So you were kind of forced to go out of your comfort zone, which is not necessarily a bad thing. We like trying new things, but we're the type of people when you're on vacation, you want something just very simple and very easy, and we just didn't have that, particularly at this restaurant. So I think in the future, Sandals could really benefit from another restaurant that has a little bit more of a simple menu when they expand.
Or just adding a couple of more items to this menu would be helpful in general. I also do really like the small plates offered here, because sometimes you want something between meals and you don't want to go to like the ice cream shop or the coffee shop and get like cookies. Like you want something a little bit more nutritional between meals. So like they had the crudité I kept getting with those little dips. So it was just like a nice little snack that wasn't like, okay, I'm gonna go eat another brownie between meals.
And I will say, I tried the pulori, which is this kind of Caribbean dough dish with a mango chutney, and it was delicious. So again, everything was fantastic that we had. Again, just wish there was more variety. Next up is Buccan. This is a brand new restaurant concept for Sandals. It is family style, featuring local St. Vincent cuisine. There are 2 seatings per night at 6 o'clock and 8:30, and reservations are required.
I actually really love this restaurant concept. To kind of give a lay of the land, you walk in for your reservation and they give you a nice welcome drink and they, you know, ground fresh nutmeg on it. And then they had a couple of small bites laid out. I forget what they were, but like one was like a mushroom something, and then another one was like some bite of fish. Everything was beautifully presented, really tasty. And then you sat down at a table there were 8 of us at a table, 4 couples, and it was really nice to get to talk with other guests. And I thought it was gonna be really awkward and like forced, but we had a really good table. Somebody was a first-time visitor to Sandals, and then the other 2 couples who knew each other had been to several, so we were talking about which ones we all liked and where to go next, which was really fun. It was just a constant delivery of food. And it was all unique things I wouldn't have thought to order. They started off with nice fruit. My favorite thing was this thing called the river cook, which was served in like a lava rock, and it had like chickpeas, and it was like in a curry, and you ate it within like almost like a crepe, which was delicious. But they had chicken, they had salmon, they had lamb, which was really good. I can't remember the last time I had lamb, but I decided to give it a try. It was delicious. And for dessert, they did a mango chutney with ice cream, which was really solid. So I hope they bring this to other resorts.
The next restaurant is Gatsu Gatsu, and this is open for dinner. This is your Asian restaurant with a sushi bar as well. And we had some of the best food of the entire trip here.
We really did.
We went back one night for second dinner, or first dinner before second dinner, just to get some appetizers, and it was delicious. The vegetable tempura here was a particular standout, which is a very simple dish. I think I got 3 orders across the 2 seatings that we did, which was great. Jenna had some really good sushi there. I had some really good chicken and beef robata. I'm kind of like skewers, which were delicious. The night that we went for just appetizers, the manager and the chef prepared like a kind of an off-menu special for us.
Yeah, I think it was maybe yellowtail, but they you know, seared it, and then they like made this like beautiful rose. It was like almost too pretty to eat, but I did eat it. So that was nice. We had sat at the bar that day, and so they were like, can we whip you up something special and surprise you? And so that was a really nice touch. The manager there was really excellent. All of our servers were great there.
Yeah, shout out to Jeffrey, the manager. And Gatsu Gatsu is also at Sandals Royal Curacao. So if you've been to that resort and ate there, you'll have a pretty similar experience.
This one though does have a little bit of a bigger menu.
It does.
They also have a ramen selection here, which unfortunately they were out of the week that we were there, but that is another good offering because I feel like the one at Curacao was more sushi heavy and this one was more just like general Asian food, which was great. Up next, we have a Sandals staple, the Jerk Shack, which we love eating at. What's unique here is that the Jerk Shack is open for lunch, but it's also open for dinner, which is something they started at Dunn's River.
Dunn's River.
We ate there for lunch only. We did go twice though, because it was just excellent. It's all outdoor seating, wonderful jerk chicken. You know, they have fish and foil, they have lots of other things. I think I had my jerk chicken with fries and their hard dough bread.
Yep.
You had some of their beef patties, I believe.
The beef patties, they have festival there as well. When talking about the Jerk Shack at Sandals Dunn's River, that is a very small seating area. This one is at least twice the size, I would say. So there are reservations required at the one at Dunn's River. That wasn't the case here for dinner. So you'll have a better chance getting a dinner table here if you wanted to go for that meal.
And I never saw it crowded at this restaurant for lunch or for dinner, and the food's always really good, so it's definitely worth checking out.
Up next is Blum, which is one of the coffee shops at the resort, and it's open daily from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. It's located right between Gatsu Gatsu and the Jerk Shack, so one of the things we really liked about this resort is that they have it pretty much laid out into two main areas. The area that we're talking about now, where Blum is, has a lot of offerings, so it's nice to have a coffee shop at your fingertips there. We'll talk about Crema in a little bit. So basically wherever you are, there's a coffee shop nearby. This concept is a returning concept from Sandals Dunn's River where they introduced Blum, and you go here to get your iced lattes, your iced coffees. They have pastries available. So pretty much anytime throughout the day where you want a caffeinated drink or a treat, this is a great spot to go.
Up next, we have Isola Pizzeria, and this is the standard pizza place that's at every Sandals, at every beaches basically, but sometimes they just have different names. They had probably about 10 different types of pizzas that you could order. It's open for lunch, but what's unique here is that it was also open for late night. So it was a great thing if you needed, you know, a snack at 11 o'clock at night to be able to go and get a pizza.
Next up is Imoro. This is a brand new restaurant concept that's open for lunch, and it's salads and bowls. Imoro in the local St. Vincent language actually means green. So we were really happy to see Sandals introduce a salad / health focused restaurant at the resort. Imoro is in the same building as Isola. When you walk in, Isola is to the right and Imoro is to the left. So if you want to go there and get a pizza and a salad for lunch, we did that a couple days, so it's very easy. You order in one location. And so on the menu, they have a build your own that lists out all the ingredients, and then they have some suggested salads as well that they'll make to order for you.
And I loved this. I hope they add it to more places because it was really nice to have something that you could get a little bit on the lighter side and something you could grab quick and bring and eat at your pool chairs without it being super messy. So this was a good one.
The one tip we have for this restaurant is that you're in the Caribbean, it's normally gonna be hot. So if you're taking your salad from the restaurant and walking it all the way back to your pool or beach chair, it might get a little warm in the sun. So maybe eat it like directly at the restaurant. There's some seating outside, or just kind of try to cover it up from the direct sunlight. Nobody really likes a warm salad, so.
It is near the
infinity
pool. So that's one of the days we ate at our pool chairs because it's right there. But if you're going to like one of the other pools, it's a little bit of a walk. And our last restaurant at the resort is Crema, which is an ice cream shop / coffee shop. So this is the other alternative to Blum that we mentioned. Blum is kind of near the main pool and near the quiet heart-shaped pool, whereas Crema is right next door to the two infinity pools that are beachfront. So again, no matter where you are at the resort, you have a coffee shop pretty close by, but this one also had ice cream, and then of course it still has pastries and all of that.
They also have specialty drinks that you can get with alcohol. A couple days I got the Jamaican, which is an iced coffee or iced latte with Jamaican rum cream, which is delicious. We had some Guinness ice cream here, which is also very good. So it's great to have this coffee shop by the infinity pools at the front of the resort in case you're hanging out there for the day and want a coffee or a snack.
Now, on top of these 11 restaurants, if you are staying in a club room, you're also gonna have room service daily from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. off of a select menu. And then if you are staying butler level, you will have room service 24/7, and you actually can order from any of the open restaurants, which is really great. If you're in a luxury level room, you won't have any access to room service, but again, you have 11 restaurants to choose from, so never short of options here.
Sandals Saint Vincent also has 9 bars, some of which are in the actual restaurants. So like any Sandals resort, no shortage of bars if you want to get a cocktail. We've been seeing a lot of comments and questions about the dining at this resort, specifically on social media, so hopefully this video has been helpful. I would say it's not our favorite Sandals resort in terms of the dining, but again, everything we had here was really tasty and delicious. Just wish there was more variety overall. But that's everything we have for you today. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and follow us on social media at A Couple Travelers.
And until next time, keep traveling.